Hello YouTube family, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharida and welcome. And in today's video, we are going to get into my favorite type of fragrance, you guys. Aside of vanilla, it's going to be gourmand. So gourmands are fragrances that do make you smell edible, irresistible. So if your goal is to smell addictive, like a snack, then I have something for you on this list. Trust me, we have quite a range from everything from caramels to croissants to chocolate, popcorn. It doesn't matter what your vibe is. We got you covered, all right? So without further ado, let's jump right into today's video. All right, now before we get started, be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my uploads. And also, give the video a big thumbs up as it continues to help me grow here on YouTube. If you do decide to purchase any of these products, they will be linked below. It's a great way to support the channel, and you can also shop the merch to show your support as well. So you guys, there are so many gems, like just bomb. All of these are just bomb, okay? So the first one I want to talk about is going to be a newer release from the house of Navitus, all right? So we all know that, well, for me, in my life, in my world, Gabby blew us away last year around the same time with Chocolate Queen. This time, my beautiful YouTube sister is back with Baklava Royale. So what you are going to get from this fragrance is something quite unique. It is giving like this baklava vibe because you're getting lots of like a almond, pistachio scent, but you're also getting this honey. And the way the honey comes off is not going to be anything that screams honey. This is not going to be like your Milk Stars where the honey is the star. No, this is all blended in to make it feel a lot more like an all around encompassing dessert. And so this one is sweet, but not overly sweet. It is very heavy on the amberwood and the vanilla to me. And honestly, I don't smell this and think I'm biting into like this piece of baklava. And that is because baklava, if you've ever had it, which is absolutely one of my favorite desserts, it is very sweet. Like you can literally feel your teeth rotting as you take a bite out of baklava, depending on how it's done, all right? And I don't get that from this. I was kind of expecting it, but I'm almost glad that I didn't. I feel like if you want something on that end of the spectrum, you can layer this with Milk Stars and you will be all of the honey sweetness. But I find that this one is beautifully balanced. It is sweet, it's gourmand, but there is definitely a sexy edge from that amberwood because amberwood is like one of my favorite notes in perfumery. You have this freshness at the top that you get from orange blossom and some bergamot, but all in all, I think this is a gorgeous fragrance. I do think you have to be into nutty fragrances because, like I said, it has pistachio, but it also has like this grilled almond. And you really pick up on that. It does not come off as like just this normal or run-of-the-mill almond note in a scent. So this one I feel like is one you probably want to try before you buy. But I think if you enjoy nutty scents, a little sweetness, some sexiness, then you would absolutely vibe with this one. Again, this one is Baklava Royale, and this is from Navitus Parfums, done in collaboration with Gabby Loves Perfumes. Congratulations, Gabby, on a fabulous release. So next up on the list is one that I actually have somewhat of a dedicated review on, but this is going to be from the house of Guerlain, and this is FEVE Gourmand. So this is supposed to be like the replacement for Gourmand Coquine, and I can say with confidence, because I do own both, that if you love the scent of Gourmand Coquine, and you've either run out or you've been trying to track down a bottle, or you know you have a bottle but it's on E and you don't know how to proceed about getting that replaced, they have solved that for you, okay? You don't necessarily have to go to the lengths of purchasing from our, beloved store over there in Brussels if you don't want to. FEVE Gourmand smells very, very similar to Gourmand Coquine. They have added a few additional notes, but they don't pop out to me. They've added smoke, they've added tea, and I think some patchouli. I don't get any of that in here. What you are literally going to be smelling is the scent of Gourmand Coquine, but it's just slightly more intense. Not so intense that you feel like this is very loud, overpowering beast mode. It still has that very refined, somewhat dialed back gourmand essence that we have grown to love from the original Gourmand Coquine. So if you still want to have that scent with the same amount of class, sophistication, then you will not go wrong with this one. I'm telling you, this is quite steep in price point. But I'm a Guerlain girl. It is probably my favorite house. And they just do classy, beautiful, stunning scents like no one else. But it is a French, you know, perfume house, and they speak to that. These are not going to be, you know, projecting across the room. There is, like I said, class sophistication. So if you're looking for an elevated gourmand with chocolate, rose, ylang-ylang, some very delicate, well done spices, and, you know, a powdery vanilla, then this one is absolutely it. There's a touch of booziness in it. And I just thoroughly enjoy this scent and can't wait to continue to overspray my life away with this one. Again, this one is FEVE Gourmand, and this is from Guerlain. All right, so if you have the goal of smelling like carbs, if you want to smell like a delicious blueberry croissant or muffin, then CRUMB Couture is just that. This is for the girl who really does love a literal gourmand. And I don't know how they did this, how they were able to capture a literal buttery, flaky, delicious, fresh out of the oven croissant, but they have done it. And it's blueberry, you guys. And it is so delicious and delectable. This is going to layer with your vanillas if you want to add a little something extra. This is going to have people asking, who is baking something? Did someone bring in something from a bakery? Who smells like food? That is what this is, but in the best way possible. I feel like it doesn't get so foodie as to, it doesn't smell like a perfume, or does it? Like, this does smell like actual, like, this is full on snack mode. This is full on snack mode, and I'm here for it. Maybe this is too literal for some, but for me, this is a vibe. This smells so good, you guys. I hate these bottles, but the scent itself is absolutely delicious. So let's get into the notes of this one. So CRUMB Couture has notes of croissant, vanilla, tonka bean, black currant, sandalwood, and rose jam. Wow. So rose, oh my God. It's just, look, listen. If you want to smell like a buttery croissant, just get it. I'm done with reviewing this one because there is not much more I can say. But it's a snack mode, delicious. You're gonna smell like a whole croissant snack. Again, this one is CRUMB Couture, and this is from the house of Sniff. All right, next up, this too, you guys. I don't know what it is about smelling like buttery croissant that's turning me on for the winter season ahead of us, but Bonissimo is also a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Now, the performance on this one is quite, I would say, on the lower end of moderate. It's not trash to where you're not gonna smell it after 2 hours, but 3.5, 4 hours, the scent really, really becomes a skin scent. So the performance is not great, but this smells so good. I don't give. I will decant this just to top it off because it smells that divine. This too has a croissant note, but it also has a butter note. It has a cappuccino note. It has everything that you want to smell like when you're in snack mode. It is caramel, sugary, vanilla rich. It's lactonic, and it is just very, very delicious. This one, I mean, I was having like a little obsession with, you know, for fall, but I can't speak highly enough of the way this scent smells. If they could make this into something that lasts like 6 hours plus, oh my, when I say you would have a whole like gourmand masterpiece on your hands because it smells so beautiful. It is not linear. It actually takes you on a journey. You start out with something that is very robust with that cappuccino. It almost smells like a dark roast coffee in the very beginning, but still very caramel, sugary sweet, okay? So imagine that, and then all of a sudden you are hit with these delicious buttery croissants. And it's rounded off with this gorgeous vanilla caramel-esque, you know, dry down. So a beautiful gourmand, and this one is from the house of Hilde Soliani, and this is Bonissimo. Okay, so this next one, when I tell you, probably right on up there with one of my most favorite chocolate fragrances, which we'll get into that one later, but We Plus is so good, I absolutely cannot. If you like scents like Chocolate Greedy, but you found it too powdery, or maybe something was just a little off in the scent, or you're fine with Chocolate Greedy, but you want some other rendition of that. This is so good. Let me tell you, I put this on my sheets last night, sprayed my bed, my clothes. I was just taking whiffs of this in a whole nother world, to the point where I did not want to fall asleep because I just wanted to keep smelling it and enjoying it and thinking about, wow, I'm in this cocoon of chocolate goodness. So this is literally going to give you this smell of chocolate, okay? Marshmallow. And it's almost like this cookie sensation somewhere in the background. So you're going to smell like a s'more, but elevated. Again, foodie gourmand. You have to be into the foodie gourmands, I think, overall, if you want a Kais perfume. But this is so good. If you love chocolate fragrances, you are going to probably love this. So this has official notes of cacao, marshmallow, coffee, peru balsam, patchouli, and styrex. And if you know anything about the styrex note, it gives it that delicious like cookie biscuit feel in a fragrance. And it is unmistakable here. So you're going to smell like a real treat when you put this on. The performance on this is fantastic. When you wear it, people are going to look around trying to figure out who's got the cookies. Okay, who's making the s'mores? Where's the fire pit? Because I want some. Again, this one is WE Plus, and this is from the house of Kais Perfumes. So next up on the list is going to be a gourmand, and this is for someone that actually doesn't like it too foodie. You still want to smell a little sweet and a little irresistible. And this is going to be MULA Double Caramel. So right off the top, you are going to get something with like this sparkling, effervescent quality. And it's from the patchouli. But the patchouli is done in a very clean way, because when I saw the note breakdown of this, you know, when I was offered it, we'll see. How is this patchouli really going, you know, to fare? This was gifted to me by the brand, so thank you so much for Byron Parfums for sending this over. But I have been looking forward to trying this one. I feel like this one is a like. It's not a stone cold love, but I haven't really given it, you know, enough attention and like a real full wear, like out to work. So that is what I'm going to do next. But I feel like from this, you're getting like this fruit nectar vibe. It's not like this full-on fruity, like heavy fruit vibe like you would get from like a fruity floral, or it's something just a little bit more understated about the way the fruit is done in here. The caramel, it is there, but it's giving me a little bit more of a transparent caramel, not one that's super lactonic or thick or syrupy or dense. And I think that that's what's kind of, I was expecting something richer and deeper. And I'm not getting that, at least not to my nose. So this fragrance has notes of caramel, peach, and ginger at the top. So again, yeah, it's giving you like this really rounded fruit essence, and you can't really pick out what fruit you're smelling. It also has mid notes of caramel again. You've got raspberry, strawberry, and vanilla. And then it's rounded out by some Laotian oud, amber, and patchouli. And Laotian oud is usually very overpowering in scents. But I don't get there here. If no one told me that there was a Laotian oud in here, I would have never guessed. It is there grounding it and balancing things out and keeping it not going into that super sweet category. It does probably help with the longevity of it, but I don't think that this is a loud beast mode scent at all. I feel like if you want something sweet and, you know, a little delicious, but you don't want it to get too foodie, too overly sweet, too gourmand, then I think you would enjoy this one. And that's just my take on it. I haven't seen a lot of reviews on this at all, really. So I don't know if some people are getting something really dense or sweet, but for me, it's like somewhat of a fresher take on a caramel gourmand. It's not super dense to me, but I do like it. I rather enjoy it, and I look forward to wearing it more. But again, like, it's a like, but it's not a love. So let's get into one that is, when I say a love, y'all already know. I haven't talked about this probably since last winter, but she's back, and it's time to give my baby What About Pop her props. So unique, so delicious, so special is this little fragrance right here. This really is going to have you smelling like a tub of caramel popcorn, but elevated in the beginning. I feel like on me, the popcorn note and that really super true edible aspect, it kind of dissipates. This is not at all in any way a linear scent. What About Pop is very, like, it's delicious, it's sweet, it's caramel. But you have this night blooming cerise in there, you have this hawthorn, you've got some ebony wood in, you know, the very base, which I think is such a gorgeous wood note that I don't experience enough in perfumery. And it just really, really does set this one apart. It keeps it very grown up for the foodie gourmand lovers. It keeps it very, very sophisticated. And these bottles are simply to die for. This one is rounded off with some benzoin, some vetiver. So it has ambergris in it. And I think these base notes are just truly supporting it and make it not go into something that is like a childish, overly sweet, overly gourmand scent. Those woody notes really do help it. And again, with the florals. Now the ambergris in here is giving it this slightly salty quality. So between the caramel that's at the top, the popcorn, the ambergris, this is really what I'm saying. You are going to really get a sense of tub of caramel popcorn, but you have this very complex note structure of woods and white florals that make it truly unique. It's very special. Definitely try before you buy. But I am so over the moon about this particular gourmand. One of the best from the House of Pop, between Bum Bum Pop, What About Pop? The Pops are popping. And they really are my obsessions from this House of Oud range in particular. So if you've never tried it, one I highly recommend you get your nose on. Again, this one is What About Pop? And this is from the House of Oud. All right, so if you're looking for something that is really substantial wearing, it may not smell substantial wearing, but it's beast mode. It is beast mode and it is so good. And this one is really often compared to Lyra, and I don't think fairly so. You do have some very similar components. This is Unknown Pleasures. And for the longest, and this is by Kerosene, for the longest I was on the fence about adding this one because everyone compared it to Lyra. I already had Lyra. I'm like, I don't want a bunch of things that smell similar, but this one has so many differences where definitely I'm getting the caramel. I get that. Definitely getting that delicious, you know, lemon vibe, but this is so complex and so beautiful, and it is so special. I feel like, honestly, I haven't smelled anything quite like this on the market. What makes this one different is, yes, you're getting your citrus vanilla caramel thing going on. You've got some Earl Grey tea in here, which really, really does stand out in the fragrance. You have tonka bean honey and some bergamot accompanying the lemon. So when I say that Lyra has that citrusy feel, that has a blood orange note, it does come off as lemon-like to some, and some actually get blood orange. But here, this is unmistakably lemon. And lemon done very well, because bergamot, lemon, it can be very hard for me to digest depending on what it's paired with, how it's done. Like Devotion, oh my God, it smells like cleaning products to me, you guys. I must be the only one on the face of the earth that hates that scent, but it smells like you are cleaning the kitchen countertop, and it doesn't smell appealing or gourmand to me at all. I smelled that before it was even released, truth be told. And they had it like stashed in the bag. She let me smell it and wear it, and I did not like it, but this one I love. This caramel is coming in and balancing out those really strong citrus notes. You are going to get that citrus, but at no point does it become overpowering to me. And then the fact that they have paired it with their Earl Grey tea, it's like, we got the lemon, but we got the tea. And you have like drizzled this, you know, this big dollop of caramel in your tea, and it's offset by this warmth of honey and tonka bean. And that is what you have. But if you want everybody to smell you and you're in snack mode, this is the one to pull for. Beautifully done, executed, you know, fragrance by Kerosene. It's very popular, and for good reason. I've had this for quite some time, but I feel like I was waiting on a gourmand video to discuss it, because I picked this up during the summer. Probably was not the prime time to pick it up, but I actually feel like if you are lighter on the trigger, you could probably pull this off on like a cooler summer night, because like I said, that freshness is really, really doing something great for this fragrance. Again, this one is Unknown Pleasures, and this is from Kerosene. All right, so let's get into a fragrance that is very nutty and beautiful, and it's just good, okay? Oriental Enigma. This is for my Oriental girls, okay? So if you want something that is bold and gourmand and just so dang sexy. This is what you need in your life, okay? And let me tell you why. This one is centered around delicious dates and hazelnut, and you are getting that, okay? Something that I don't see a lot together in perfumery when you rope that in to orris root and hibiscus in the middle notes. So you have this delicious nutty dates, okay? It's offset by this gorgeously done hibiscus note, and it is rounded off with a base, okay? A base of sexy rum, saffron, and tonka bean. You get all of that in this fragrance. It is so beautifully crafted. It smells delicious, but I think you do have to be into the hazelnut accord. I don't think this goes so nutty that you start to smell like food in a bad way. Like nuttiness in a bad way. Again, very, very strong, beautiful base notes. That saffron and rum is going to keep it in this like really sexy realm. And this powderiness you get from the orris root, this uniqueness you get from the hibiscus. Oh my God. Why have I not worn this all fall? I don't know. But the weather is cool outside now in Georgia, and she will be getting worn the heck out. Again, a beautiful fragrance from Alexander J. This one is Oriental Enigma. Okay, so let's talk about a layering combination actually that one of my subscribers put me on to. And it's so funny because I think in my very last video, I said that my beautiful MAHNI CASSONADE kind of reminded me of a mixture of gourmands and vanillas I already had. If you took like a Tahota, if you took the vanilla 28 and stripped away the florals, if you added in just some creaminess from the Gourmand Escapade and something about the quality of WHIFF waffle cone, because a lot of people get waffle cone vanilla ice cream from this, then I feel like if you have those, you would have MAHNI CASSONADE in one blend. Like MAHNI CASSONADE is brown sugar, it is toffee, it is vanilla ice cream. There is bergamot mentioned at the top, but I don't get that. Some people literally are getting a citrus gourmand from this. I think when Marcelena reviewed it, she was getting more of a citrusy gourmand. I've heard that here and there. I think this one is varying greatly on what people are picking up on their skin. So even though this is mine, I love the support. It's definitely going to be a try before you buy, you guys. It's musky. It's very heavy on the amberwood, but perfectly done in my opinion. The vanilla is singing to me. You are getting lots of vanilla, but you're getting lots of toffee and deliciousness. But if you layer it with Imaginary Authors with a waffle cone, you're complete. Okay, you are the whole bowl of Cold Stone vanilla ice cream. This one features heavy cream, salted caramel, amorous. You got orgy, a note of ice cream shop, and Saigon cinnamon. And put this on, okay, first, and then you cover your top with MAHNI CASSONADE, and you are going to smell so warm and cozy and spicy and delicious and edible, okay? Similar notes as far as like this one's got the caramel, this one's got the toffee, this has got ice cream shop. But for me, this is more like waffle. Both heavy on the vanilla and both delicious gourmand fragrances, but together they create something really, really special. But stay tuned because I think I'm going to do an entire layering video featuring MAHNI CASSONADE because y'all have been sending me all of these combos and I'm just like mind blown, okay? Somebody even mentioned layering these together, and you best believe I'm going to try it today once I'm done filming, all right? So this is MAHNI CASSONADE, my perfume done in collaboration with Navitus, and this one again is with a waffle cone by Imaginary Authors. All right, you guys, so next up on the list is one of my favorite gourmands. It is boozy, it is sexy, and it is quite complex, but if you love it sweet, you love it substantial, and you are looking for something that is unisex and perfect for this time of year, then Doce Diablo by the House of Narcotica is so necessary, okay? So I know that this was completely an obsession for me this time last year, and I'll say it's time to bring it back out and start obsessing over it again because this smells so good. This is not going to be one for everyone. I think particularly you do have to like apricot. I feel like the star of this fragrance is apricot, it's chocolate, it's a little boozy, but not OD boozy, even though you have, I think, a rum and a cognac listed. They're in the top. So the booziness kind of dissipates a bit, but you also have very, very sweet gourmand notes. You've got sugar, you have honey, and a very big dose of vanilla. And this is so delicious. I cannot, okay? If you've never tried it, I would say Door Prestige has samples. They have decants of different sizes in addition to the full bottle. And always remember, if you do shop with them, you can save 10% even on your samples, okay? So try this before you buy it because you may love it, you may not. For me, this one was a blind buy and it was obsession, not love, obsession at first sniff. It is so like substantial wearing and you just smell so good, you guys. It's got dry apricot in the mid, fresh apricot at the top. You've got cacao in the middle. You have some Divana and oak moss lending to the complexity of it. And it's rounded off by very subtle patchouli, musk, so tonka bean, vanilla, and sandalwood. So complex, but very, very gourmand. And if that is what you're looking for, then I would highly recommend this one. Again, try before you buy. Some people find it to be too like substantial, sweet, thick. Some people get sick to the stomach, but it's perfectly balanced for my taste and one that I just cannot get enough of. Again, this one is Doce Diablo, and this is from the House of Narcotica. Okay, next up on this list is going to be one that really did pick up in popularity after I spoke about it on a few gourmand videos last winter. And that is because you had to go, I think, only direct through the House of Quaranterno to get Mystic Sugar. But now it's available, I think, through Scent Split and Lucky Scent, if I'm not mistaken. Check the description box. I will, of course, have it linked. Mystic Sugar is so divine. And let me tell you why. It has a very unique composition of notes. And honestly, it's like this chocolate, sexy, pineapple, it's spicy. This is gourmand for date nights. It's very, very unisex. So a guy could easily pull this off if they like, you know, those sweeter scents, but all in all, just extremely sexy. So this one opens with notes of pineapple, almond, blossom, and orange. Already unique opening, okay? Then you get to the mid where you have cacao, you have tonka bean, cardamom, ginger, and jasmine. And you are getting that cardamom and ginger. So I feel like in addition to liking chocolatey, fruity scents, you do have to like spicy. It is not spicy to the point where it's going to be overbearing and heavy and just kind of cut across your nose. Like, I don't like when spicy fragrances do that. This is blended beautifully. It is rounded off by some vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. And I just think that this one is a gorgeously done spicy gourmand, perfect for this time of year, that won't completely drain your bank account. I think you can get these definitely under 200, but I want to say, I don't know, I haven't looked at this since the price hike. When I bought it, it was right at 150. So hopefully it's still somewhere around that range, but this one is just one I highly recommend if you love the thought of like something unique. Pineapple, chocolate, tonka bean, almond blossom, like where they do that at, okay? At the House of Quaranterno is where they do that at. And it's just one that I absolutely love. Again, this one is Mystic Sugar. All right, so the last one on this list, when I say last but not least, Gabby, you got two perfumes on the list, girl. Chocolate Queen. Chocolate Queen, how can I say? Like, if I could write you a love letter, Chocolate Queen, girl, I would, because the love for this fragrance is real. I have ranted and raved about this since it came into my collection. Chocolate Queen is definitely chocolate heavy. It's beautifully amber. It's sweet. It's got a lot of edible notes. But I actually sneak and wear this all year, even though I'm sure optimal time to wear it is going to be fall and winter, when I just want comfort and I want to feel happy and cozy in the comforts of my own home with the AC on, you know, in Atlanta weather, when it's 90 degrees outside. I will still come home and put on Chocolate Queen because I just love the way this smells. I love the way it makes me feel. This one is also the perfumer that did my fragrance. This is from the nose of Bertrand Duchefort. He also did Baklava Royale. And for me, this man just knows his way around a delicious fragrance. It's so funny because before he really started to do all of these, you know, works for Navitus, he didn't have a lot of what I would consider to be like super feminine leaning, you know, gourmand. He didn't have a lot of that in his repertoire, but now it's like, baby, we're gonna be able to retire real soon, because I mean, the girls are wanting to work with him because he gets it right. Okay, he the only one I wanted to do my perfume, and luckily, fortunate for me, he signed on. Like I explained before, we don't have any control over what perfumers sign up with the fragrance. It's not we're assigned a perfumer. No, we kind of put in our request, but all of them get the brief and they decide who, like what projects they want to work on. It's not the other way around. So there is a reason why you keep seeing Bertrand, you know, all up in these collaborations is because he gets what we're trying to convey. I smelled so many other fragrances, you know, from people that signed on, but his were the only ones that I would consider because they were just that good. Back to Chocolate Queen. Chocolate Queen is just divine. And I say that because I have never smelled anything so unique in this way. If you know anything that smells very similar to this, please let me know because I would love to smell and compare. But this is very unique to my collection. So Chocolate Queen has an overdose of vanilla, okay? Number one, no wonder I love it. But you have chocolate fudge. And for me, this doesn't come off as anything, I would say super lactonic, but maybe very, very deep down in there, you're going to get a lactonic quality because it has several lactonic notes. But I feel like if you don't like lactonic fragrances, you will probably still jive with this one, provided that you like chocolate and amber. So this has the chocolate fudge. It has Bailey's Irish cream. It's got caramel, all right? And you also have praline. So you have dark chocolate. You got chocolate fudge. You've got dulce de leche. You have hazelnut. You have, I mean, just so many foods we could fill up a cart. So many edible notes we could fill up a cart. But the way he has blended this, balanced with that sandalwood, that amberwood, that vanilla, it does not come across as anything overly foody. It also has an almond note in here, bitter almond, but it's just blended to perfection to where you're smelling like this really regal chocolate amberwood elevated scent. It is very classy. If I attended something black tie, I would feel confident with putting Chocolate Queen on. No one's going to smell like you. People are not going to quite understand this deliciousness that they are encountering, but they're going to love it. And it performs. When I first got this, I was like, this is one of the best scents I've ever smelled, gourmand wise, but it doesn't really project. I feel like the longevity at the time was like moderate. But now, like they don't get, Navitus does not let their fragrances sit for 4 weeks and let them macerate. You're getting these off the press, and from the press, you know, up until the week or whatever it takes to reach your doorstep, that's kind of about the time that it has. So you really do have to let these sit to get the true essence of the projection longevity. The same thing with MAHNI CASSONADE. I feel like this one performed beautifully, moderately. But a couple months after I had my vial, it was so much stronger, so much richer. I mean, this thing really, really does get better over time. Same thing with Chocolate Queen. This has the most incredible sillage, you guys. I had a call one day, okay, cop time. Had a call one day, and it was like in a train station, okay? A train station. My sergeant was trying to find us. We had gotten all the way up to the rooftop with this guy who's wanting to commit suicide. So we were up on the rooftop. My sergeant, we couldn't get on the radio. He didn't know where we were. So he literally got on the elevator and was like, "Oh, I smell Moore's perfume. I'm in the right place. They must be on the top floor." Y'all, he had tracked me down by the sillage. Okay, 15 minutes later, after I passed through the place, sillage is amazing on this. But you do have to let it macerate if you have a brand new bottle. Perfectly sweet, not overly sweet. I have gone on long enough about Chocolate Queen, but I just want you to get in your head that if you've never tried it, just give it a try. Give it a try, because I think that you will love this if you love chocolates and ambers, okay? I love both of those notes. And this one, to me, as I've said before, is a gourmand masterpiece. All right, my loves, that is our video for today. Drop me a comment below and let me know some of your favorite gourmand fragrances that you love to pull out for this time of year. This is gourmand season. This is the time to smell as rich and decadent and spicy and delectable as you possibly can. And I feel like with all of these that we mentioned here, you're bound to find one that you vibe with. So drop me a comment also letting me know some that may have piqued your interest or intrigued you from our list today. It has some real YouTube. Again, be sure you are subscribed to the channel. I love you all, and I will catch you on the next one.